I genuinely thought I was about to be kidnapped during an Uber ride. And the scariest part? The road we drove on wasn't even on the map. This happened about a week ago. I had just left a store and ordered an Uber to go back to my mom's house. It's usually a 30 to 45-minute drive. I've done it plenty of times, and there are multiple normal routes. Main roads, well-trafficked, nothing strange. I'm a 27-year-old woman, and my driver was probably in his 50s or 60s. At first, everything seemed normal. He was friendly, talkative, asking about my job, where I was going, my plans for the holidays. After about 10 minutes, I put my headphones in, and the conversation stopped. That's when I noticed we were going a different way than usual. At first, I brushed it off. But another 10 minutes passed, and now we were on this extremely long rural road. No traffic, hardly any houses, just fields, trees, and silence. I pulled up the Uber map on my phone. We were completely off route. We kept driving down this narrow one-way road for several minutes. There were a few houses, some horses, no cars, and no people anywhere. I took my headphones out and sat up straighter. The driver wasn't saying anything. I watched the map and noticed something that made my stomach drop. Up ahead, it looked like a dead end. I tried to stay calm, hoping we'd reach the end, turn around, and get back on a main road. But instead, when we reached the end, he turned right, into what looked like a dirt driveway. I immediately asked, "Why are we pulling in here?" He casually said his GPS routed him this way. I told him very clearly that I didn't like it and that I wanted to go back to the main road. He replied, "Oh yeah, the main road's just up here." And then he kept driving. This wasn't a road anymore. We were driving behind people's houses, deep into the woods, on what looked like an ATV trail. Trees on both sides, dirt under the tires, and this man driving like he'd been there 100 times. I was terrified. I had my phone in my hand, ready to call someone, and I honestly considered jumping out of the car. He wasn't talking. He wasn't looking at me, just staring forward, hands on the wheel, completely calm. The thing that scared me the most? This path didn't even show up on my map. You wouldn't know it existed unless you'd been there before. I kept telling him we needed to get back to the road. He kept saying we would. After what felt like forever, but was probably 3 minutes, we turned again and suddenly ended up on a paved road. Then another turn. And finally, we were back on a real road with other cars. I felt a wave of relief. That's when he started laughing. He said something like, "Wow, I'm surprised the GPS took me that way. They really should change that. That seemed like a private road." I didn't believe him for a second. If he didn't already know that trail was there, he would have assumed it was a driveway, just like I did, and never turned into it. The rest of the ride was another 15 minutes. I sat there with my hand on the door handle the entire time. He tried to make small talk again, but I wanted nothing to do with it. I know his GPS didn't take him that way. Mine didn't even recognize it as a road. So now I'm left wondering, what were his intentions? And how many other people have ended up on roads that weren't supposed to exist?